Hey friends, this is week 7 of our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade art lesson. Now I know fall break is this week, so this is not a graded assignment. The students who do have art class will just be doing participation. If you don't have art class this week, you can still do the assignment and I would love to see it. But don't worry because I know this is supposed to be a break, so this assignment is just for you to have something to do that's fun while you're on your break. This week we are talking about something called a scientific journal. Have you ever seen something like this before? Journaling is a really good way to get your thoughts down and remember things. So something that a lot of scientists do when they're out in nature is pick up different things and sketch them, especially the things that they want to learn about. That way they can remember and think about questions they have so that they can learn more about what they're studying. You can see that this artist wrote the name of the plant and also did little measurements so they could remember how big it was. Some famous scientists like Leonardo da Vinci did this also. Earlier today, I went outside and found some leaves. The ones over by my house aren't super different now, but we're going to start getting some really cool leaves soon. Do you guys know why leaves change colors? Inside of leaves is this green stuff called chlorophyll. And the chlorophyll is what helps the leaves, the plants to make their food. During the summer, they use the chlorophyll and the light to make the food. But when it gets cold, the plants start going to sleep for the winter so they can rest. Now, when that happens, they stop using the chlorophyll, so it goes away. And when the green part that is the chlorophyll goes away, it reveals all of the colors that are also in the leaf that were just being covered up by that green chlorophyll. That's why we have all of these cool colors. What I did was I went outside and I found some cool leaves. Now, if you're going to go outside, you need to ask an adult first and make sure you're safe. Also, make sure you're picking up the leaves that are falling on the ground. If you're pulling something off of a plant, you need to ask an adult that owns that plant first because you don't want to hurt the plant. And sometimes it can hurt certain plants if you pull leaves off. So make sure you're just finding things and being safe. This can be something fun to do during fall break too if you're outside with your family. I'm going to start with some fall leaves that I found outside. Some of them have started changing colors and some of them haven't yet. If you can't go outside, you can always look up pictures of leaves on the internet. Now, I'm going just to start with one so I don't feel overwhelmed. So I'll move the rest of them away for a minute. And I want to start with this one. So when I'm looking at this leaf, I'm thinking about the different details I see. Inside the leaf, there's all of these veins. Just like in people, leaves have veins that help carry all of the food and the moisture to the rest of the leaf. I notice that there's lots of veins, and there's also lighter areas in between them. So not only do I have dark veins and light areas in between them, but I have little shadows also. Do you guys see the shadows? So I am going to start by drawing the stick. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to start sketching. So I'm going to start with this stick and this middle vein. So I'm going to go and draw a nice little line there. Now I want to do these two veins coming out that are right in the middle, it's almost like a V. Do you guys see that? So I'm going to do a V. Now that I have my main veins, I'm going to do the outside shape of my leaf. So I see down here, right where the V starts, the rest of the leaf kind of comes out.
So I'll do that a little darker so you guys can see it. And remember, if this is ever going too fast, you can always pause and go back. So now that I have the basic shape of my leaf, I'm going to start doing some of the little extra veins that I see. So I'll go in, and I'm going to start with the ones in the middle because I think those look the easiest for me. So I'm going to start by doing the ones in the middle. Now that I have the ones in the middle, I want to do the ones on the outside edges. And notice, they get a lot smaller. The closer to the edge of the leaf they are, they get smaller. So closer to the middle, they're really big. And the further out they get, the smaller they get. And some of them even have little extra veins coming off of them, just like in people. Kind of cool. All right, so now that I have all of my veins, I'm going to start thinking about shadows. So I see that I have this shadow over on this side. Since my light is coming from the window, right? So the light's coming this way. And so you can see my leaf is bent because this area right here is darker. So let's go in and add a little shadow. It's on this side. And you can see that it's extra dark right around the veins. So we'll make it darker where the veins are. Once you've done your basic sketch of your leaf, you can go in and start adding colors and other leaves. Since this leaf already turned brown, I'm wanting one a little more interesting, so I'm going to go ahead and add some different colors. It's up to you. You can either do the same color as your leaf, or you can try something new. Remember, when you're coloring, you don't want to lose your shadows, so do the same thing with your colors that you did with your pencil or other drawing tool. Go in and press harder in the areas where you see your shadows and lighter in the areas where the leaf is lighter. Once you practice sketching one leaf, you can start doing some different shapes. Remember, we start with the middle vein, and then once we have the middle vein, you can do the outside edges, and you can do some of the vein details. Now, if this was a real scientific journal, I would want my leaves to look exactly like the ones that I was drawing. But since we're in art class, it's not a really big deal. So, like I said before, you can always do a different color from the leaf that you found if you would like. With this leaf, you can actually see, since it's so dark, the light that hits it makes highlights. Do you guys see how there's little areas that are lighter on the veins? So what you can do is color everything dark except for the little highlights. Those highlights that you're leaving light are called a negative space. Once you finish drawing your leaves, if you want, now this won't work if you looked up your leaves on the internet, but if you have some, what you can do is you can make some rubbings. In order to make a rubbing, what you do is you take your leaf, you lift up your page, you put your leaf underneath, and I'm going to put it, you can see my artwork from last time. Then, wherever it is, you're going to take one of your coloring tools, either crayon or colored pencil work the best. Markers don't really work very well for this. And you color over it Now make sure you're not pressing too soft because it won't work. And if you press too hard, it might be hard to see too. So you have to play with it and try to touch it, color it a little medium. I'll do one more of this one because I really like that leaf. Let's see, where is it? Here we go, let's try again. Ooh, and sometimes you can see it better with certain colors. If you're having a ton of fun, you can even go in and draw extra things that you found, like flowers and other types of plants or pine cones. It's up to you. You can even draw some animals that you see if you go outside or looking out your window.
Just like every week, I don't expect your artwork to look just like mine. So I give you 2 jobs or objectives. Those are the things that I want to see when you turn in your artwork. Objectives. I can draw at least 3 different leaves using curved lines for the veins. Number 2. I can create shadows on my leaves by drawing some parts darker, pressing hard, and other parts lighter, pressing lightly. Sus objetivos. Número 1. Yo puedo dibujar al menos 3 hojas usando líneas curvas para las venas. 1, 2, 3. Más. Y lineas para las venas. Número 2. Yo puedo crear sombras haciendo algunas partes de la hoja oscura y otras partes más clara.